You don't want your leather to start drying out and cracking like that. I haven't conditioned my seats in a couple of weeks, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing vacuumed out. I'm gonna get everything wiped down. I'm gonna go ahead and get the seats conditioned today. It's been a couple of weeks since I conditioned them. I usually try to condition them once a month, sometimes even more depending on the time of year. You know, I try to keep them conditioned, so this, obviously, this is further than I would like it to go, but this is where I get in and get out. I want to make sure that I keep my leather protected. I want to make sure that it doesn't crack on me. I cannot stand seeing leather that's cracked, but I love leather seats, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing vacuumed out, get it all wiped down, get it all cleaned off, get all the panels and all the trim and everything wiped down, and then we'll get it conditioned. I got some super clean diluted 10-to-1. I'll go ahead and spray this on here. I'm gonna spray that on there and let it kind of loosen up. These are just rubber floor mats. They're just used to catch all the mud and dirt. So I'm gonna hit them with the hard bristle brush. This super clean method, I actually picked it up from a couple other car wash detail channels. I'll link them in the description below. There's two really good channels that I watch that I pretty much just picked up all my detailing habits from these channels. These two guys are very thorough. They know exactly what they're doing. If you're looking to learn a little bit more about car detailing, I only detail my truck. I like to keep my truck as detailed as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and get these sprayed down, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them cleaned up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this dashboard down with just microfiber cloth. It's not very, I don't have too much stuff accumulated, so I'm not gonna get too crazy trying to get all this stuff out. What I'm gonna focus on though is gonna be on in between all these little cuppy holes. That's where I'm really gonna focus on, because that seems to pick up a lot of dust over time and grime. And I don't have the floor mats in here. Obviously I just washed them, so I'm trying to keep my feet out so I don't track the dirt all back in here. What I'm using here, I'm using these little detail brushes. I'll put them in the description box below. Again, same thing, I've seen other people use these, so I picked them up. They work real good to get into vents and tight spot. You know, once you spray your super clean diluted solution, and you can actually agitate into these crevices and stuff and then wipe it off. This little brush works very great, real handy. What I'm gonna use it for right now is just to knock loose all that dust in the vents, because I don't want to get too crazy in those vents. Like I said, I usually keep my truck pretty detailed, so it's not like I have to spend the whole day cleaning this because it's pretty clean. I just need to give it a little bit of a facelift. This is why I bought this truck. You know, a lot of people ask me, I used to drive a Chevy Silverado. A lot of people ask me when I bought this truck, why did I go with the Ram? The biggest reason was obviously price point. Obviously the Ram is thousands of dollars cheaper than the GMC or Chevy or Ford counterpart. So that's the biggest reason. But the other reason was because of this hard plastic center console. You know, I had that Silverado, I had it for a couple of years, and it had the leather center console with the padded on two sides and then the little square holder in the middle, and it was already basically ripped open, you know, from my elbow sitting on there. And the truck wasn't very old, it was about 07. I didn't want the same thing to happen. I decided that I would get this truck because when I stepped into it the first time, I was just blown away by this. I mean, I know eventually you could damage it, but the chances of you actually damaging this are slim to none. Look at this. This thing is tough, it's rugged. That's exactly what you want. So that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why I went with this truck. I know I got a lot of flack from especially from my peers when they see me pull up in this, because everyone was used to the Silverado. And I mean, Silverado is Chevy and GM have probably the biggest following of fanatics. You can see nice and clean. I tell you what, that super clean solution, it is great. It is great. Now that I got this whole thing cleaned out, everything's wiped down, time to condition this leather. What I use, this is what I've been using lately. I use this Griot's Garage Leather 3-in-1 spray. It cleans, conditions, and protects. Now what I do with this, I just basically spray it on my rag and lather it in. I go around the whole truck, and I do that, you know, until it's pretty well conditioned. You know, I plan to keep this truck for as long as I can. You know, I love this truck. I'm so accustomed already to all the, you know, electronics and all its features and stuff. So I really would hate to trade up to something different. You know, if I were to trade up to something different, it'd be way in the future. You know, I definitely want to get a diesel. But for right now, for what I have, for what I pull, for my every day-to-day activities, is more than enough. Nice and conditioned, leather's conditioned, looking sharp. Look at that. Smells like a brand new vehicle. This was just spraying it down with that 10-to-1 super clean and water and scrubbing it down. That's exactly what you get. You've seen how it looked before, so it worked great. Again, I'm gonna link a couple of channels below. Some guys that if you really want to learn some detailing tricks, or if you want to learn anything about detailing, you can check those guys out. Those guys are professionals. I just do this just to make sure my truck stays clean and I can enjoy driving it. So again, appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope y'all enjoyed the content. Until next time, later.